11 family members, 11 diaries over 11 years, one home, not a single scream. No signs of struggle, no forced entry, no sedatives in their system. They tied each other's hands, blindfolded one another, climbed onto stools, and waited for what they believed to be a divine rescue. They were not escaping death. They were chasing deliverance. Welcome to Rubberneck Nation. Here, we don't look away. We look deeper. I'm your host, M. Ann Ledette, and in this 3-part series, we're going to take a deep dive to examine the house that went silent. We'll provide plausible answers to questions everybody wants to know, but dare to ask. This is the kind of story that will keep you up at night. Was it a mass suicide attempt? A spiritual ritual gone wrong? Or perhaps something more sinister? At first glance, it was a Sunday like any other in Burari, a dense humming pocket of Delhi, where neighbors know each other by name. Here, community means proximity, routine, a shared rhythm that can feel intimate, but under the surface remains a dance of distance and quiet observation. The Bhatia family home sat on a corner above the family grocery store. Every morning, the shutters would rise by 5:30, maybe 6, a ritual as reliable as the sunrise. Milk deliveries, early risers, and the gentle bustle of daybreak. But on this morning, the shutters stayed down. By 7, a neighbor grew uneasy. Calls? No answer. A knock? No reply. Around the side, the door unlocked. He steps inside, and then silence gave way to horror. Inside, 11 members of the Bhatia family, 3 generations, were discovered hanging from ceiling grills. Eerily reminiscent of a banyan tree, sacred, ancestral, a place where the living seeks wisdom from the dead. In many Indian traditions, the banyan is a gateway, a gathering point for those who have crossed over. But in that house, it was no tree, just rafters, ropes, bodies in a perfect formation, all but one, the eldest, found in an adjacent room, blindfolded, bound, mouths covered, some gagged. No signs of struggle, no signs of life, no screams. Before they became successful shopkeepers, the Bhatias were farmers. They moved from Tohana to Delhi, chasing the promise of new beginnings. Here, in this multi-generational home, 3 families lived under one roof. Harmony on the surface. Narayan Devi, the matriarch, her sons Bhavnish and Lalit, each respected, each married to women, described as devotional, hardworking, and deeply spiritual. Their children, educated, beautiful, futures wide open. One was even recently engaged. There were 2 young boys, teenagers, ordinary by every outside measure, and by all appearances, the family, they were thriving. And family here isn't just about kin. It's about structure, tradition, the glue of their identity, especially within the community. Arranged marriages? Sure. Duty over desire? Yes. Patriarchy and obedience shaped their daily actions. From the outside, especially for those of us in America, perhaps this is rigid, unusual. But from within the home, a blueprint for stability, order, and peace. In the Bhatia home, marriages were strong, but shaped by something deeper, a current of silent expectation. Pride ran deep. And this is why the circumstances of this case is really so unthinkable. When the news broke, shock became speculation. Did they have conflict with someone? Were they robbed? Was it a robbery gone wrong? But wait, nothing was stolen. There were no signs of forced entry. And the word suicide echoed, lingered in the air. But nobody wanted to believe it. Not the family, not the neighbors, not even the nation. And on top of that, a video of the crime scene leaked before the police can come and close up and, tape up the crime scene. And like all things viral, it spread like wildfire across the internet, across phones and screens. The bodies, the images, I've seen them. But we won't air here. Absolutely not. Not out of fear, but out of respect for the living and for the deceased. Some say that video changed the tone of the entire investigation. Others say it changed India. After seeing it, the video definitely impacted me too. Even police, seasoned, unshockable, were rattled. One officer said, "Every detective has a case they can't let go, and this is mine." Publicly, the police left no stone unturned. Privately, they braced for something stranger than anything they've seen before. They pulled CCTV footage, and what it revealed was shocking. Members of the family were seen on tape, calmly buying stools, rope, together, all composed, no panic, no chaos, no signs of distress. And in addition to this, inside the home, investigators found something else. A stack of diaries. 11 volumes. A whole decade's worth of writing. At first, they assumed one diary for each member of the family, right? Seems logical. Private thoughts, dreams, worries, regrets, goals. The usual stuff that you'd write in a diary. But these diaries were different. These diaries, the revelations, became the spine of the entire case. To make sense of what happened in Burari, we need to understand more than just the facts of this case, more than just the crime, more than just the motive. We must enter a world where faith and ritual run as deep as bloodlines, where spiritual practice, ancestor connection, and hunger for meaning can blur the line between discipline and obsession. The diary spoke of a difficult spiritual ritual. Some entries read like commands, orders, others like pleads for grace. Some was almost coded as instructions or fragments of grace, of hope. But who wrote these diaries? Well, this is where the story starts to fracture. And what those words reveal and conceal would change everything. So if you're like me, you can't help but wonder, how does a house full of life go quiet and still overnight? What does it mean to obey someone you love, even unto death? If there were no screams, what was louder, faith or fear? When tradition becomes instruction and instruction becomes ritual, where does the line blur? Where does it disappear? In the silence of the Bhatia home, something ancient echoed. Not just tragedy, but a shadow that stretches across centuries. Obedience, faith, belief, legacy. This story isn't over. It is just beginning. In episode 2, we're going to unseal these diaries, peel back the layers. We'll listen for the dead and meet the voice at the center, its vessel. Is it a victim or something else entirely? So stay close, stay curious, and by all means subscribe to Rubberneck Nation, because what is done in the dark will eventually come to light. And until next time, I'm your host, Ann. Join me and the Rubberneck Nation, where we don't look away, we look deeper.